So, I got the email saying the demo for this dropped on June 5th. I was at work. So, I have gone home, I have booted this up, downloaded it, got it running, and now it's all down to whether I can get this edited down and played and everything like that in time to queue it up for June 6th demo day, or whether it's going to have to wait until July 4th. Now that you're seeing this, you know the answer. As I am recording this, I do not. So either the demo day that I have recorded already for tomorrow is getting bumped to July, or this one's going to be like a month after the demo came out. So, this is the sort of sequel game, tie-in game, same world, same setting, as Strange Horticulture, a game that I have played here on this channel and that I quite liked. Now, in part, that's because I really like plants and flowers and you know, see my whole deal. However, it's also just kind of weird and strange, and I found it enjoyable, the puzzles and everything. So, I have been looking forward to Strange Antiquities, and I want to see what they have to offer here. As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there is a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop, Strange Antiquities, in my hands. None of us knew that by then the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen. A circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed even then to signal the start of a rising dread. I like this loading circle. Look at the little vine offshoots. I like this a lot. Okay. Use arrow keys or WASD to navigate to your shop. I've also got the mouse. So, we've got, let's see, ooh, quite a bit. Those are locked away. All sorts of stuff. Things kind of swing as I move things. Of course, we always have to pet the cat. Get the purr going. Got all sorts of stands and things. Yeah, I can pick up and move stuff. The eye on this amulet follows me. Okay. Interesting. As far as I can go there. And there's a downwards. Oh, okay. This is a slightly different format where the drawer I have to actually go out of my way a little bit in order to look at. There's Undermere. Ahaha, okay. We actually have a map of the city as opposed to a map of the surrounding area. Interesting. Not sure what these are. We're gonna find out eventually. Looks like that goes there, except it doesn't. Oh, there's multiple ones missing, and I bet there's a pattern. Okay, okay. What have I got here? Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Alright. Okay, so yeah, in Horticulture we explored the greater map area. Now it seems that this one is actually zeroing in on the city itself. On thaumic fields, all thaumic objects produce a field of sorts. Though invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thaumic lens. A diurnic field pattern. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. Interesting. Okay. So I'm not going to explore just yet. Right now it wants us to, of course, invite our first customer in. Alright, we've got little, people. I've been called Eli. Yep, I've been called away to assist on an urgent matter at Ravenglass and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care with some reluctance, I might add. Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. There's an index in the back that may be useful to you. If in doubt, study it carefully. And remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. Guys, we are getting into those locked doors, drawers, or cupboards eventually. In fact, safe is not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Oh, buddy, it's gonna be much longer than that, isn't it? Alright, there he goes. I think I vaguely remember Eli existing in horticulture, I think. Ooh, this looks like a little panel, but it doesn't seem to be... Oh! Look at that! I'm immediately touching things. Immediately. I'm like, under no circumstances open anything. I'm like, I'm gonna open all the things. Okay. So we've got contents, and we can click on them and go to them, and I am not going to do that until I actually need to, but there's the index. Okay. Okay, cool. So basically, if I need to find a thing, then I can do that. Ah, yes, and basically these lower shelves are how I access things from both sides. There we go. Okay. Let's do a little ding. Thomas Pope. Congratulations! Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope, is it now? That's me. I'm a man of two loves, fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Hamish. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. If you would be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Alright. So, we need to inspect things with a quick little right click, and we need a hunter's boon. So, to that end, I need hunter's boon. Primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. Simple items without embellishment. Interesting. Okay. So, I need to inspect things, and I want something that looks like it was taken from a dead beast without much... Alright. Yellowy brown. This looks like something yellowy white color. This is definitely a tooth, and it is definitely a predator's tooth. A sense of touch. Ooh, this is different. Smooth, but with hard ridges. Smooth. Scent and sound. Nothing to remark. Fair enough. Inner perception. Sensation of power. I think that this is it. Ooh, ooh. Oh, they've done some, decorative... Oh my god. They've done some decorative stuff in this. They've done some real decorative stuff in this. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is it. Yep. Anyhow, I did turn on a auto tag if you correctly identify something, just to save some time. Even though I did just type it in myself. Alright, yeah. Okay. We've identified the hunter's boon. Ooh, book content discovered. Ossic ring. Alright. Okay. Cool. Yep. I've already added labels, but yeah, this thing does have an auto label now. Alright, just out of curiosity, these are our bits and pieces. The thaumaturge, Eli White, collector and curator of powerful objects. Objects that to the untrained eye may appear dull and lifeless, but that in the right hands and armed with right knowledge can be a gateway to so much more. For Eli, the quest to unearth and understand each new object has been the driving force of his adult life. And then you've got your little dialogue stuff on the side, it looks like. Alright. And then the cat. Devourer of souls, Jupiter! Jupiter's the thaumaturge's cat, or more accurately, Eli's Jupiter's thaumaturge. Jupiter found strange antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it his home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorizing rodents, and midnight explorations of Undermere and beyond. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. Interesting, and then we've got a whole bunch of unknowns. Alright, so, Mr. Pope does not seem to feature in there. Jack Hungerford. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. A creeping dark is set up in my house. Okay, you need light. I'm told a shadow hold will draw it out. Alright, we need something called a shadow hold. Now, that should be simply looking in here Shadow hold. A shadow hold, or oshadic vessel, is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an oshadic spirit, the manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. Alright, it's not quite a it's not a closed knot. The lines intersect and don't connect with each other always. However, we do have a little bit of that, like a very simple suggestion of a knotwork design, and then just some intersecting lines. Alright, so we're looking for something with that, or at least something like that on it. This looks like it is it. Okay, so it is a very slightly different design. These are not connected, and then these are. However, I think that this is what we're looking for, because it's a very similar design. Basically identical aside from very minor details. There we go. So, it is identified, and that should have automatically tagged it. Sunbond. Okay, cool. I like the amount of lore there is. Yep, I have taken the auto label and put it on. I like how much lore they're packing into things just by being like, hey, these are things that exist. What does that imply about the setting? What's with all these ravens flying about Undermere today? I can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. Okay. Let's take a look. We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old. Maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the shin. Charlie Weathers. Okay, so that is basically an invitation to go and check out the boatyard. Now, I want to say that we could do a little bit of exploration. I don't know what the limit on it is, but we can always try and find out. Boatyard is most likely somewhere around here, so let's see. 22 is Gulfrey's Tower, 23 is the Mary Bell, that's probably a ship. 24 is the Bleak Stones. I want to go and look at that just on principle. Alright, let's see. 2, Strange Horticulture. Oh, hey! That was us! That was us last game. Let's see. I'm just looking for, 8, the boatyard. So we want to go to number 8. Can I explore, please? Simple as that. Thursday, the boatyard. The yard has seen better days. A mess of broken and rotten timber covers most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats, slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all this, a man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. You must be from Strange Antiquities, he says with a smile. He takes me into the dilapidated office where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of brown papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Sleep vessel. Shin. Something else. Apparently as an afterthought, and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives something else as I'm leaving. I've no use for it, he says. Don't even know what it's for. The fact that it's reluctance makes me wonder. Ooh, okay. Makes me wonder if it's anything potent? Who knows? Julia Braddock. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed late last night on Princess Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark, on important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me. I'm visiting my grandmother later, and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town, out on Clanbrook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. Interesting. So we need to find something called a moon heart. Close that. We don't need that anymore, though that's still important, so I'm just going to put that there. Okay, so, oops, wrong thing. I need this. There we go. So we want to find a moon heart. Moon heart, moon heart, moon heart. Is my brain not is my brain not doing the alphabet right? Oh, there's just nothing called moon heart. However, it could be something that has two different names. So I am just gonna real quick look in here. Moonheart, Selenic totem, of course. If I'd actually read through the table of contents, I probably could have figured it out because Selene. Alright, these carved totems, more commonly known as moonhearts, can be imbued with a sentimental feeling, such as love or joy, then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. Alright, I like these little hints and things. Aha! Possibly that. I'm just gonna take a look over here real quick, just in case. Yeah, nope. I think that that's probably the one. What's the inner perception? Nothing to remark, that's fine. Rough fabric, hard and rough, engraved detailing. Bone, brown... cheap metal, probably pewter. Well, I'd say that might be the closest thing because it's supposed to kind of imply either a moon or a night. And to be quite honest, oh, I haven't messed with these scales at all. It might be his thing where, oh! Hey, look at that, weights! Cool. It might be a thing where the exact, I've lost track of what I was saying. I got so distracted by there being a, movable scale. It might be something where it's a little bit of a trick, but I think that this is probably the closest we have to the description. Ooh, it's not! Interesting. So I need something that is more moon-like than that was. Wood, it's kind of an owl? Oh, a warm, loving emotion. Hold on. Okay. Got it. That's a Selenic totem. Okay. I guess it makes sense that an owl would be, involved. Okay. So yeah, I jumped a little bit to conclusions by going, yes, the moon-shaped bone thing is probably it. But no, there's even an owl on the page. There was a hint. Alright, just real quick. Stored a couple items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Let's go ahead and let's take a quick look at that real quick. Just because I want to explore. So, the wine merchant. Where is the wine merchant? It's probably got a weird name. Alright, Strange Antiquities is 29. So that's Strange Antiquities. Which door? Which next door? Oh, it's not labeled. Oh. Oh, okay. I have to guess. It's Royston Farm. Wine merchant next door. Well, left or right, I guess. The proprietor, a Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain I'm from Strange Antiquities next door. Yay, I got it. Yes, well, take the lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all he's done for me, but I don't like the thought of those unnaturals in my cellar. Okay, we got weird stuff. Cool. Alright. Oh, it grows a little peg to just kind of hang from. Nice. Beautiful. Very, very useful. Very handy. Okay. Let's carry on a little. Oh, Edmund Bishop, somebody important enough to be in the book. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. Jupiter, you're staying inside. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there and I'd like to know what. A voice of a voice of Keranunos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. All right. Let's go find the voice of a horned god, I guess. Let's put that in there. Okay, so voice. Any bronze torque? I know where that is. Has certain imbued properties. With skills, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Yep. Okay, makes sense. I know where the bronze torque is. I was investigating that earlier. Boom. Done. There we go. Well, good luck with that. Spirit Eye. There's some who stay away from Spirit Eyes, believing them to be a window into a world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fear as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show. Another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps a layer that requires something more than the traditional senses to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. Interesting. Do I have one of those? End of the day. So just real quick. I want to know... I don't know if that's anything that I can actually mess with, or if it's just, like, 2 pieces that are easy to miss down there because they were in the drawer. It might be the case. Alright. Well. End day. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Black Barrow. Oh. Oh. This is something new. I need to follow it with my mouse. Okay, okay. I have never... Okay. This is a... very different thing. What are we making? What are we making? Huh. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Okay, so there's an item out there. Northwest from a prison in the first building. That's how we're doing extra stuff. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I find it... There's Jupiter's tail. I find it interesting that in contrast to the last one, we are not having to build up a resource in order to explore. It seems like there's no limit on it, perhaps. Alright, so we're looking for perhaps the old jail. Could be it. It depends on if there's a new jail. I don't see one. Let's assume the old jail then. Number 10. Northwest. That way and that way. The first building he came to is likely that one. Let's try and do an exploration. So the old jail. I'd say this is a little more true west. This is more true north. This is northwest. Let's go with that. Boom! The dilapidated warehouse is dark and imposing, and the struggling flame of my lantern does little to pierce its depths. I slowly search through its contents with a sense of despair, wondering if I'm even in the right place at all, when suddenly and unexpectedly I uncover something of value. More relieved than elated, I take the trinket back to the shop for further study and a warm drink. Oh, that's an ugly one. Don't think I like that one. You can go in the other, like, weird, creepy, dark hand. I like the way that looks out there. I like the outside. Verona Green! I remember Verona! I had her! Ah, well, that's just perfect. Undermere fizzling with fear over these ravens, and the thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. I'm so sorry to disappoint you, ma'am. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of the wrong side of bed. These ravens have got under my skin is all. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. Sounds good. Looks like I have a new book. Excuse me, I need to take a peek. Ooh, yes. Ooh, yes, they all have meanings. I was hoping that they'd all have meanings. Hi, 3 branches of thaumaturgy. Each of these is split into 2 disciplines, represented by the following symbols. Selenic of the moon, Dradic of the earth, Diurnic of the day, Noctic of the night, Mentic of the mind, and Wixic of the body. Alright, hold on. I need to put something on the Selenic totem real quick. So it's the triangle, circle, circle. Where are you? Excuse me a second. I need, now that I have actual... Am I going to remember these? Probably not. Oh my god, there's so many. There's so many. I only know some of these. Some of these are alchemical. I know that. Like, these are all planetary things. I could not tell you all of them for certain, but I know they're planetary. That right there is air. That's fire. That is earth, and that is water. If there's a circle with a dot inside of it, that means that's the sun. I know that, but I am not seeing it. That also looks very sunlight, so who knows. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's shapes. There's shapes everywhere. I want to put them on. I want to put them on everything, but I want all the right things. So that is absolutely has to be Selenic. That has to be. That has to be. Okay. Imbuements. Calm, confusion, death, deception, fear, foresight, fortune, hypnosis, insanity. Oh, hold on. I know that symbol was on one of the things we got. Hold on a second. Hold on. Excuse me. That is an insanity. A sense of crackling energy flickers in the depths of my mind. All right. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. What are the interlocked protection? Interesting. 3 signs of protection surrounding one of insanity. I'm putting a little note on that, excuse me. I'm assuming that might be what it means. I could be wrong. Ooh, what's this? Alright, is that going to be a shape that I am so distracted right now. Is that going to be a shape that I recognize on any of those? Let's see. 4 interlocking. Kind of slight swoops. Elements. Oh, okay, that's light and dark. Gotcha. Materials. Planetary metals and mundane elements. I am not seeing those. Right, planetary metals. So it's not just the planets as metals. Seasons. Ah, they put the sun symbol for summer. I guess that works. Weather. Nothing I need there. Nothing I need. Oh, nope. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing that particular shape, so it might be purely decorative. I am absolutely going to figure out what everything does in this game, which I know is the point of the game, I'm aware, but, you know, can't help it. I am excited. I got books. I got books full of symbols. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horned shackle might be the answer. I am a little uncertain that going for a strange artifact called a horned shackle, of all things, is going to be the thing that helps you, but okay. Used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. This is an elaborate horned shackle. Okay. So basically, it is something that causes change. Rub it smooth. Let's go ahead and see what this is. Strong sense of being watched. Somehow, I don't think so. You know, I could be wrong, but, strong sense of being watched does not bode well. Now, I realize that the picture shown was of a, like an Oxa creature, but I'm a little uncertain. I'm almost thinking it might be this one because of the sense of calm, but I could be very, very wrong. It might be the ram when the sense of being watched. I just feel like a sense of being watched is surely not what we're after. Right. Let's try this. No. It's all incorrect. Alright. To be honest, I don't know. Oh, that's probably this. Growing fear deep inside within me. I cannot let it take hold. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Rough and pitted, I think not. So, either I just don't have it, or it is this. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Yeah. Deep fear has taken root. I must break the hold it has over me. I have to roll dice? Oh, this is different. Bank? I don't know what that means. Okay. Pick the segment of the seal and bank the dice to break it. Okay, I think that just means 3 of a kind. This is gonna take some heckin' luck. Ooh, break the seal before it breaks your mind. Oh dear. That's not good. Jupiter, you save me! Alright, let's hope for a snake. There we go. Bank. Okay. Right. And that's what happens when you get things too many things wrong. And Tessa's back. You still need a horned shackle. Oh god. Damn it. I'm clicking the hint. I'm looking for an item that has horns! I knew that. I knew that. Oh, come on. Alright, I know I tried this already. No. Incorrect. Incorrect. That's the horned shackle. That's the horned shackle. Really? Okay. I guess. Hello, David Schaefer. What have you got? At least the weather's looking a little better out there today. Okay. What have you got? Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plow returned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours for the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. Mercenary. Alright, let's go. Explore. Let's see. The farm was right here. Royston Farm. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. Cool, we got a burb. We have a burb. That in the archive. Thank you. Alright, burb goes here. Click onwards. Stanley Hume. I want an Ossic ring. Ossic. That's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. I think you've got a problem there, buddy. Okay. Ossic ring. God. Bloody horn shackle. Ossic ring. Ah yes, these somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Corchen? But the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say they can hear Corchen's unearthly hiss when they hold an Ossic ring up to their ear. Serpent goddess. Alright, so I have moved almost everything over here, so I should be able to just kind of pick through and maybe find it. Now here's the thing. Are they talking an actual literal ring? Yeah, that is grim. Hard and cool, quite unpleasant. Alright, so I don't hear the hiss. So it's probably not that. Ossic means bones, so it might be this. Soft sound like a serpent's whisper emanates from within. Alright, buddy, you're hissing as it is, so this probably isn't good to give to you, but, I don't know, the customer requests? Alright, yeah, it's made out of bones. That is pretty macabre. Fair enough. Alright, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend, I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? This seems like something I should not be doing. I'll need to make a choice. There are no wrong answers. My decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. Binding Seed or Z. Zia? Zay? Not sure. Okay. Let's check out Z first. Worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart, these innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia that can be difficult to remove. Made of any single material except wood or clay, no symbol or other writings upon their surface. Or, a binding seed. Items are made of 2 distinct materials, representing the mentic and wixic, the mind and the body. The winding path the mind is described by a spiral, encompassing the body, the seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. So, honestly, it's only going to make you feel bad if you have guilt and shame to begin with. So, 2 distinct materials, mind and body. I have one thought, and that is this. Inner perception is, I don't like how this makes me feel, which implies, do you have a feeling of guilt and shame? But I've got the feeling that it might be this. It looks like a seed. Binding seed. Okay. So I chose the gentler option, as is my wont in these sorts of games. And since this is demo, I will not know how that actually pans and plays out, probably, until the full game releases. Unknown date. They found a man just now in what house, where all them ravens were. I wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white. His eyes that were going to give me nightmares, all black they were. It was like he weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking the Libula to see us safely through. Creepy. Alright. Libula. Purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a libula is not merely decorative. There's power in symbology, as the old thaumaturges knew well. Interesting. Imbuement of wisdom. I don't have anything like that. So the best I might be looking for is something that looks decorative and has a lot of symbology in it. And I'm not entirely certain what that would be. I feel like it might be this. It's bronze, it's kind of ornate, it's raised detailing. Nothing to remark. My heart feels lighter. Maybe. It depends on if a lighter heart is, nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Raised detailing. Depends on if a lighter heart is that imbuement of wisdom that's being spoken of. I'm going to real quick look and see if that symbol... Wisdom. Yeah, it's that, isn't it? Let's go. This is the one. Okay. End of day. How far does the demo go? Yeah, this far. I was just beginning to wonder, and that makes sense. So, that is it for the demo. More gameplay elements to discover that we won't spoil for you here. More secrets to unearth and a sinister plot involving ancient deities. There were an awful lot of those being referenced. Dark articles and a meddlesome priest that will lead to one of several unique endings. That is the demo for Strange Antiquities. I am still looking forward to it. By the time this comes out, and it does not have a set release date, but I know my memory, by the time this comes out, I'll probably have forgotten most of the things that I discovered here. Hopefully I remember the stupid horn, the stupid horn shackle. But yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks for coming along. You have a good one. Bye.